Hey everybody, welcome back to RicksDIY. I got some feedback on the automatic transfer switch kit, and some people wanted some more close-ups of the assembly, so I thought I'd do a quick tutorial, kind of a little closer up, so you can kind of see the details. And so here's the some of the tools that will be required. Need some wire strippers, a Phillips, a flathead, some wire crimpers, and some wire cutters, and any combination of those that you have. Here's the kit as it comes, and we got the instruction manual and the install manual, and also the in here is the breakdown of the assembly manual. So what we've got here is their wire. This is the 5 feet or so of the machine tool wire. Got our pack of parts list, all our parts and everything, and here's the inlet plug, conduit, flexible conduit, and then our enclosure box itself. Here's the enclosure box like I had shown before, and it comes with the sticker. Now, one reason why I'm not putting a sticker on there, somebody had asked, why don't I just do it myself, is that you might not want to put your own sticker on there. I mean, you might not want to put this sticker on there, you might want to do your own sticker. And you're also open, if you're buying this for resale, if you want to put your own labeling on there, I'm okay with that. And once again, when you do buy the kit, though, it does not include the lifetime warranty. If you buy it already assembled, it does include the lifetime warranty. So I'm going to put the sticker on there. So again, the first thing you need to do, and the easiest way, is just trying to line up where those holes are at. Kind of feel them there. I think I'm a little high, but that's okay. I can kind of feel that one there and there. I'm going to be cutting over a little bit on them, but so now we got the sticker on there. Next thing to do is installing the inlet plug. I'll go ahead and pull out all our goodies here. I'm grabbing the Phillips and a couple of the 1/2" number 8 sheet metal screws, and just screw that on there. Back part doesn't need to be on when we're doing that. And we got our 15-amp fuse breaker. That pops into that one, and then our light pops into the other one. So just undo your light, put it in, and push it in until it snaps. And then on the back side, we're going to be putting in our relay, our power relay. Again, I like to keep the solenoid coil part, these two over here on this side. So we're going to do that. And on these, I got it says the machine threaded. There's only 2 of them with 2 nuts, lock nuts on them. And we're just going to go ahead and poke that through from the other side. Might be easier just to start one of them and get it on there. And if anyone is interested in doing any private labeling for resale, I'm more than happy to help you accommodate that. I am the manufacturer on these. Like I said, got a little high on there, but not too high. And just tighten it down. And we got the main components installed. And we got our wire. Next thing to do on our wire is to make it easy, is to feed it through our conduit. Just kind of push it in there and twist it around, and it will go on. And then on the other side here, where we're going to be putting our first connector, a 90-degree connector. So take this and just kind of put your finger under it and twist it. And put a little bend to them. And grab one of these and loosen it up. That connector sitting in there. Get them through, and then you can pull them there. And you get down on the conduit, and then just kind of twist the conduit in there, and it just kind of feeds in there. And you can tighten that down with your flat head. Like I said, it doesn't matter which order you kind of do the wiring on this. This time I'm going to kind of do it different than I did on the last one. But I am going to start with the ground first. I'm going to strip that back. About 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. Doesn't take much. And there's one connector for the ground. It's a very small spade. Make sure you use the small spade. Push it on there, and you're going to be using your non-insulated crimpers. Squeeze down. That's that one. And on the opposite side, I'll go ahead and pull off the electrical tape. And I'm also going to be using just the black and the white as our two primary wires we'll be cutting off to make our jumper wires. Like I said before, we need a from the hot side, which is the brass terminal, going to our circuit breaker. And you need about a 4.5 inch wire. I'm going to cut that, and then we're going to need a shorter one, and going from here to there. But I'm just going to go straight off and just use about the same dimension on these. So it's not rocket science. So we're going to go ahead and take all 3 of these now, and then we're going to do our white. I'm just going to do the same thing with our white, which is our neutral. You got plenty of wire, so don't have to worry about not having enough wire. You need 3 white, 3 black, and then we can go ahead and strip these. And go ahead and strip both ends. And you can strip one end a little bit longer than the others. On short, I'm going to do the long one on this one. Actually, one of the blacks, I don't need to do that. Hold on. All the whites go together. We got all those. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp the our black ones. Now one of our black, so let's start with our terminal. We need to put our terminals on here. So it's going to be our female connector, female spade, I guess you'd call that. And let's go ahead and put that on there and use our non-insulated crimper and crimp that down. And on the other side, that one's a little long, so I'm going to cut it down just a bit. There we go. These are non-insulated. On this one I'm going to use these ones. That gives a nice good connector. It's going to go right on here. Just slip it right under the top of that. And using your flathead, screw that down. And that's going to connect up to our and that one's going to connect to our breaker. It doesn't matter what side you put it on. Just make sure you put it on and push it down good. Good and tight there. There it goes. You can kind of hear it second snap on it. Now we need to do our black, and that's going to go to our connector. From this one we're going to do the strip that one a little bit back more. So I'm going to use the insulated crimpers for it. This is going to be our jumper one. All the wires are going to connect to. We're going to do it like that. I need one more black, don't I? Put another female connector on. Crimp it down. And same with the last one. We'll do all the hots. And we connect one of these to the relay. And the other one's going to go, because this is the power coming from our generator. It's going through the breaker, coming back out, and it's going to feed our relay and also the normally open contact, which on this case is number 2. That's the far side there. And then we need one of these wires coming off of our light. And because this wire is so thin, like I said before, I like to strip more of it back. I can get it on there. And we're going to double up on the wire. And twist it over on itself. Then we're going to use a wire nut. And take all these, and this one's just not long enough, as you can see. We want it to match the other ones. So I'll strip more back on that one. Try to get them all evened up. Do a pre-twist on them. And grab your wire from your light. So it should have 4 wires in there. That one's kind of hanging out, but there we go. Grab our wire nut. Just keep twisting, and you'll feel it get really tight. And you'll get to the point where the wires want to twist on themselves, and that's when you know you're done. You can kind of pull on that. You can pull on individual wires. I recommend pulling on the small light one just to see if that one's loose. If any of them are going to loosen up, that would be the one. And then you can go ahead and tuck this in, or kind of tuck it out of the way. I'm just going to tuck it right there for now. So that's out of our way. Now we're going to do our neutral. Our neutral, we're going to use our last spade connector. Using our non-insulated crimpers. And we're going to crimp that. Put that in there. Oops. The flathead. Okay. And basically we're going to be doing like that again. So we need to get 2 more of the female connectors. Put on our neutral wires that we cut off. Using the insulated crimpers. Like that. Got 1 more. Just on the opposite side, we're going to do that. It's on the opposite side of our black. On the number 6. And then also on our relay. Now we're going to take all these and put them together with a wire nut. That one's just a little bit shorter than I like, I think. Just a tad. Strip that one out a little more. Grab our light wire, and neutral, push those together again until they start twisting over on themselves. Okay, now we got our neutral and kind of pull on those. I'm going to show you something real quick in case you get something like this where you get a terminal that doesn't want to be real tight. See how that one doesn't feel very tight? You got to make sure it's actually in the connector. See, it wasn't actually on the connector, it was on the outside of it there. So let's see if I can show it there. See how it's not actually in the connector? You want to make sure it gets inside the connector. It's a lot tighter. So now we got that. Now we just got our last remaining wires coming from our conduit. Flexible. We got 4 wires, so we're going to strip these back and put on our last 4 connectors, our female connectors. Like I said, you want to cut off about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. And using your non-insulated crimpers, put the female connectors on all these. Okay, now we got those. I'm going to pull the lock nut off of this. And all these through here. Put our lock nut back on. Tighten it down. And we have to get our ground in. The ground's a little tight because of the proximity to the conduit, but just go ahead and start from the top there. And the trick is to get it right underneath the lip. Usually what you want to do is kind of bend that, and it'll snap right in there. And you can hold it there, and then using your flat tip screwdriver you can torque that down. Okay, we got those, and we just got our remaining wires. So the next two that we're going to hook up is our black, the all black and all white. And we're going to stay on each proper side here. I'm going to pull the ground out of this conduit so it's out of our way. So the black is on top. Our center pole is what's number 4 marked on the relay, and that's going to go to the black wire. That's our outgoing power to what we're powering. And then the all white wire goes on the opposite side. That's the neutral wire going to what we are powering. And then I have the red and the white with the stripe on it. Now this is what's feeding our circuit now from the circuit breaker. So the red is basically our hot. The red's going to go on the last remaining top one. Push that on there, and then we got our white with the stripe, which is our other neutral. Now this is wired to switch the neutral. In some circumstances, certain generators will not work properly if you switch the neutral. So if that's the case, you need to tie all the neutrals together. And the easiest way to do that is basically not even using this side of the relay and taking these two wires and tying them together into the nut there, or you can do it at the panel. So now we got that. I'm going to pull these other wires back out, red, black, and kind of see if we can get these kind of torqued down. Push those in there a little bit. Give ourselves some room. So get that pushed in. So once again, there everything is. This powers it. A relay, and when that relay is powered off our generator inlet, it lights the light and switches the relay to our incoming power. So that's that, and then we can put on our cover here. And it's important to designate that we've got two different screws. We've got these called the self-tapping. They got that kind of cut on the front, looks like a drill bit. And then the other ones, which are just a standard screw tip These are the ones that you would use to go through this panel to mount it. If you were going to mount that on a sheet metal at the side of a furnace. So these are the ones that you want to use on the box itself, the enclosure. There's 2 on top and 2 on the bottom. So I'm hoping this will give you a kind of a little more up close detail. The manual has pretty good pictures on it and instructions on doing that. The last remaining screw here. Okay, so let's go over, got that done. That is complete. This is basically how you'd get it once you get a completed one from me. We got 5 wire nuts left over. 1 connector. We got 4 of the powers bits, and then you got 4. The other one of the self-tapping screws. And like I said, that goes on the other side of a conduit, obviously. 5 wire nuts left for the 5 wires that would be going into our circuit breaker. That's for mounting it. If you're mounting at the sheet metal, masonry, wood, those go right in there. If you're doing masonry, you got to pre-drill with a 3/16 inch bit. These you can just drill right in the sheet metal. And that's the kit. Thanks you guys for watching. If you have any questions, again, please send me an email. Send me a message through YouTube. I appreciate you watching, and thanks again.